We edited it.
We collectively edit. We collectively edit the podcast.
We collectively edit the podcast.
It's one, like a hive mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's
we
a collective.
We get in and it's I just do the WASD and then he does the mouse.
I do the mouse.
We kill everybody.
Yeah. Fun fact: one time in, I guess probably middle school, Nate Mitchell came over to my house.
Shout out Nate.
And we were playing Just Cause 2 on the PC.
That's $1.29 right now. I need to pick that up.
Wow. See, now I bet you're wondering, how do two people play Just Cause 2?
Right.
Well, we figured since Nate has one hand, Nate would control WASD and I would be the mouse.
This makes perfect sense.
So we did that, and it was beautiful chaos, which works out great because that game is all about beautiful chaos.
Wow, that's pretty beautiful.
Yeah. So everybody out there, find your one-handed friends and play video games together.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
This show and gems.
But I only like the least cut of the gems.
No, I gotta cut my gems, dude.
Oh yeah,
I get my miter saw and I take it out to the back shed and I cut them right there.
Cut those gems. Quit it with hey man, quit it with those gems. Get those gems cut. Hey man, cut those gems. This is the show that we're doing, and it's really, really good. Yeah. Welcome to the show.
It's a show.
Ben.
Yeah.
Welcome to Ben and Marshall Pictures. This is the podcast.
We should probably introduce ourselves.
Well, I say the thing, and then I say the other thing.
Oh, go ahead then.
Welcome to Ben and Marshall Pictures.
Do we want to make
Marshall
sure
Pictures.
They know where they could find us on the map?
On the map? Yes, yeah. Tallahassee. That's up. I don't even know. Is Tallahassee in Texas?
Oh my God.
I've never been to Texas.
It's in Florida, dude.
Is it?
Yes.
As soon as I said Texas, I thought, where's that, Florida? Probably not. And
it's definitely Texas. Am I right, boys? Expose this man.
Expose me, please. But again, welcome to Ben and Marshall Do a Podcast. It's the official podcast of the Great Scub Do.
Hey.
And I am Marshall.
Hopefully, hey, I'm Ben. What's up?
Yeah, we're here, and we're going to talk about movies and TV shows. And
sometimes. Hey, if you're a new listener, or if you're somebody who I've talked to in the last week and told to listen to my podcast, hello and welcome. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate you.
If you're someone that Ben has talked to in the last week and told to listen to the podcast, then I say, get on out of here. We don't want you here.
People. I was last night at like 1:30 a.m.
Nice.
I was in front of an apartment complex here in Lincoln.
Okay.
And there were some skaters outside. It turns out I actually knew one of them.
Oh, Skater Boys.
He DJ'd at a show that I did photos for one time.
Oh.
And he asked me to send him a link to the podcast. So I sent him a link and he said he's going to listen to it because he liked Uncut Gems. I don't know.
Interesting.
Anyways, he's going to watch one of them, something like that. So hello, if that's you. If not, well, then screw you.
And I don't care.
You'll never hear this. So
when you left, when you said goodbye to them, do you say "see you later, boy"?
What?
Because they were Skater Boys.
Oh my God, this is. How did you end up more homeschooled than I did?
Peak comedy. I just have better jokes than you. That's all.
That's one way to put it.
But yeah, this is the show that we do, and it's going to be a good time. And let's get
really good.
Right into the news. First piece of news. I was telling a story to someone this week at
pretty
work.
Crazy news.
I know, dude, it's crazy. I was telling a story about something that I was like super excited about, and something that I think about. It was about the scavenger hunt that I think I've told you about.
Yeah.
And I was explaining this weird thing that happened to me, and then I look at my phone and I see this piece of news, and I just deflated.
Nice.
I was like, well, this ruins my middle of my story.
Right.
And that is that Ian Holm has died. Now, this means probably little to you because you have not seen The Lord of the Rings and probably have not seen Alien or anything else that he's been in.
I haven't seen a lot of movies.
Yeah. But Ian Holm is the original Bilbo Baggins in the Lord of the Rings movies, not in The Hobbit. He is briefly in like the third Hobbit movie, I think.
I don't even know if I watched that one at that point.
You know, there's no reason to.
Good.
They're bad.
I mean, I did read The Hobbit, so.
Yeah, that's a good book.
And I read part of the first book. And it was not my jam.
Well,
or my peanut butter or any other
mustard
or
any other mustard
condiment is what I was
it wasn't
thinking.
Up to the level of the mustard. That's saying. But he's passed away. He was I think like in his late 80s. So I mean, you know, he lived a full one, and he was in a lot of things. He was a much beloved actor. I didn't even realize that he was alive or dead. It was one of those, and then I saw it and I was like, oh well, that sucks.
Well, now he's dead.
Yeah. So
cool news.
Not so cool, but
well, he's cool now.
Next piece of news: the movie Tenet. Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan. The movie Tenet has been delayed.
Oh, the one with the other good trailer.
I guess. Yeah, I think it has a good trailer.
Yeah, we were talking about good trailers that Christopher Nolan makes, and this one reminded me a lot of Dunkirk.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's the same filmmaker.
That's what I mean. I'm just saying his trailers are always good.
Yeah.
Something about him doesn't spoil the story.
It's that scarf he wears.
Yeah, sure.
He's so suave, and it just seeps into his trailers.
Yeah, he does own a lot of trailers.
Yes,
he actually lives in a trailer park.
And he fills them with his scarves.
Yeah,
and
he's bought out an entire trailer park
tailored
home,
suits.
And in the trailers live an army of the whole village of tailors, and they just they exclusively make the best scarves.
And they're led by Robert Pattinson and John David Washington.
Oh my God! Why do you use these names like I'm gonna know them?
They star in the movie
do.
Tenet. You gotta learn things, boy.
No,
but it's been delayed, which was much to the behest of Mr. Nolan. He, despite the current ongoing events of the world or lack thereof, he was very, very adamant that it open when it was supposed to. Which weird choice, Mr. Nolan. I don't know. It's going to happen whenever it happens, and I'll see it whenever it happens. I'm not, at this point, after movies not coming out for however long, I'm not that upset.
That makes sense.
I can wait. I'm going to see it. I'm excited about it, but I'm not going to, die if I have to wait, another month to see the confusing time travel or not time travel movie.
Okay. That's probably accurate. I mean, you might die.
Yeah.
Who knows these days?
Yeah, it happens.
Severe weather.
Oh, yeah. Lots of severe weather. So
big
much.
Booms.
Big booms.
Gunshots in the neighborhoods.
Booms. I don't think they're gunshots.
We'll talk about that later.
I guess that could be our apartment news. But here's the next piece of news. I got two pieces of news left. Enola Holmes movie. There's a whole series of books that are about Sherlock Holmes's quote unquote younger sister, which I don't know if that's a character that's actually in the books or not.
Right.
The original books, that is, written by Arthur Conan Doyle. But this is a separate book series because the character is now in the public domain and has been for a long time. Mm-hmm. Which is why there's 1,000 different Sherlock Holmes things out there.
Yep.
So they're making movies about Enola Holmes, and it's going to be Millie Bobby Brown, who plays Eleven in Stranger Things, which you haven't seen, and Henry Cavill, who plays Superman and The Witcher in
she also talked to Drake.
Superman and The Witcher. She did?
Yeah, her and Drake talked, and they went to dinner one time. You didn't know about any of this?
That's weird.
Yeah.
Just 15.
How did you miss that?
I don't know.
That was a meme for a while.
That's very strange.
Yeah, I mean, also Drake's a pedophile, but that's besides the point.
Well, that explains it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know the situation well enough, but that's what I gleaned from it. Don't want to be throwing any wild accusations
close personal
out
friend
here,
of the show,
but
Drake.
Yeah, just in case I meet Drake someday and he listens to my podcast,
Mm-hmm. May or may not be a pedophile.
Right. I mean,
but who knows?
At this point,
that goes for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of pedophiles, we're still in the news segment, right?
Yeah.
Did you hear anything? Did you see the Chris D'Elia canceling this week?
No.
Dude, it was okay. So it started out with this one tweet of this girl who was like, I can't believe Chris D'Elia tried to groom me as a kid or when I was underage or whatever. Ha ha. And then under it was some screenshots of the emails that he sent her, and they were very they're just not good. It was just do you want to make out? And I'm in temp, let's hang. And yeah. So and then after that, there's that one Twitter thread that got 150,000 likes in the first day or so, and I don't know how many retweets, But then, a bunch of other people started being like, hey, I have a really similar story with like, stuff from the same Instagram or email or whatever it was. And so it was there's a lot of instances of him talking to some underage girls and making people feel pretty uncomfortable.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, not, but.
And then he had like I was watching this thing about it, and like he would have his friends, like some of the comedians in LA, like reach out to girls who followed him, and then have the people who reached out to the girls send the girls like alternate accounts that he would use. So like,
what?
He's using one Snapchat account under like some sketch character's name that he had.
Yeah.
And then he had like another email that he would use. And so it was just super sketch. And then
so it's beyond
the phone number.
the
Another from the other like big LA comedians. It was the phone number is registered to him. So yeah,
that's a lot of not great.
Exactly. So
ooh boy.
Yup.
Well,
also, there's been a really interesting thing happening where just episodes of TV shows and YouTube are getting deleted preemptively by all these like companies and stuff because they're worried about any sort of like misinterpretation with blackface and stuff. Like I don't know which show it was, but it was an older show.
Sure.
And they were using like something like tan or like a facial cleanse or something like that, and it happened to be brown, and they removed that episode off of Hulu because they were.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was just on Twitter today.
Yeah.
I think that is just ridiculous. I mean,
I get it.
I understand it, but I mean, I don't know, why is it really going to fix the problem? Like,
I saw one,
or like the Aunt Jemima stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's a weird thing where like, there's a lot of these things, and I don't want to get too political on our movie, comic book, TV show podcast, but there's a certain point where like these things come from a certain place and they have a certain meaning behind them and everything. But like, it's going to be a long process if we're going to go through everything, because there's going to be everything.
I don't think that's, I think that's like counterintuitive in my opinion, because I think the point is to go, not to fix everything we've done in the past and, cover up our tracks and make sure we don't get canceled, but to be like, oh, okay, cool. Like maybe we messed up in the past, but at this point, the only thing we can do going forward is change our behavior from here on out.
Yeah. So which I mean, for like, a brand, that's kind of,
I don't think brands should be associated with any of that, to be honest. I think it should be separate.
I mean, we can
like, why does Amazon gotta have a stance? Why do we care what they think? Why do we care what Macy's?
People get really up in arms about the people who are in charge of things, and even though they totally hate them and don't care anyway.
I don't know. That's just my thing.
It's a big hypocritical. We don't care about what the corporations have to say,
but they better
as
post
well
a black
as
square.
Exactly.
They don't. They're racist.
Yeah. So
if you didn't post a black square, you're racist. Anyways.
Yes.
Moving on.
Enola Holmes movie. The sister of Sherlock Holmes, played by Henry Cavill, and the girl played by Millie Bobby Brown, Drake's best friend. And this movie is being sued because, and I'm not kidding, because Sherlock Holmes is too nice. He's a good guy in it.
Who's suing them?
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's estate. And it's a weird thing. And I think that's
pretty dumb.
Well, let me explain. It's very frivolous and stupid, but it's kind of funny the way that it came about, because apparently the only Sherlock stories that are in the public domain at this point are the earlier ones in like the whole saga of books, in which he is much more like the cold-hearted, emotionless kind of guy, like the Benedict Cumberbatch
So they're just trying to get their bag.
Pretty much, because then the later versions are the ones where he apparently becomes more like emotional and softens and has a warmer heart and everything. So, but those ones are still copyrighted. So they're being sued, and it's not going to go anywhere because this movie's already been made.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's a Netflix movie too. I can't remember. At this point, you kind of have to be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But that's what that is. It took a long time to get to that piece of news, but we finally figured it out. We finally did it.
We did it.
We did it. We found that piece of news. Last piece of news. This is a weird one, and I'm really intrigued, and this is still kind of unfolding. You might have already heard about this.
Breaking news brought to you live on the Ben and Marshall podcast.
I think it's breaking in like today and yesterday maybe, but Dr. Disrespect has been banned from Twitch.
Yeah, educate me on the whole situation, because I saw the tweet from like him. He's like, hey, thanks for the support. Just stick with me.
Basically, it popped up on this account, this Twitter account that automatically shows when streamers have been banned.
Yeah.
And people were like, what? And I think that he also was like, what?
Yeah.
And that's basically what his tweet was like, they haven't really told me exactly why this has happened. I'm not really sure.
And was there anything Twitch that happened at the time? Like,
I mean, people point to this one thing that I'll get to in a second here, but the weird thing is that Twitch has been really weird about it.
Yeah.
Like, their representative has been super reluctant to say anything about it because of, what's the wording they had? Saying it was because of the importance and sensitivity of the matter.
That just means they have no clue what's either they have no clue what's going on, and there's a bunch of corporate bureaucracy, or they know exactly what's going on, and Dr. Disrespect has been disrespected off the platform for no apparent reason. He's had his things in the past that have been a little bit questionable, but at the same time,
because in the comments, the other thing that everyone's pointing to is the time that he was walking around a convention center, and walked into a public restroom. But that was a while ago, wasn't it?
And that's what I'm referring to. That whole thing was resolved. Like, I mean, at that point, that doesn't cut it.
It's so weird, especially because he's like their poster boy right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do. That's what I'm wondering though. I'm wondering if maybe they didn't quite like his brand, but they didn't have a better option because Mixer was like, there was such a talent battle for it, like streaming talent right then, and now Mixer died. And Ninja is on their platform
still
again.
Wild to me.
Everybody else is back on their platform. Like, there's no one, because everyone was going to leave for bigger deals. Like, Tim the Tap Man was about to sign a deal. Like, a bunch of people were about to leave. And so now they have options. They can say, oh, Ninja's back, or, oh, like, we have this other streamer.
But they spent so much money on that live action short.
Yeah, sure.
That was a great little video.
It was great. That was amazing.
Very good.
But yeah, then that doesn't make any sense if they're using him as promotional material, yet they're gonna ban him and then probably still run that promotional material. Like,
it's weird.
I would be curious to see if they've ran that commercial in the past day or two.
I doubt it. Well, I mean,
like accidentally on a TV
might
network,
have
because I don't think that it was gonna run as much on like YouTube and stuff, because everyone on YouTube already knows who Dr. Disrespect is. Like, Twitch is trying to reach
he's the doc.
Their TV audience. Like they're trying to branch out.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Jim B. Falbins.
Yeah, something like that.
Well,
that's
Jim
pretty
B.
crazy. I'm gonna be curious to see what
that's another dude that everyone
happens.
got upset at and like quote unquote canceled.
Jim B. Falbins?
Not Jim B. Falbins, but Jim B. Kimball's.
Oh yeah, because he had blackface.
He did
the
blackface
I'm
in something.
My show for the summer.
Yeah, no, he actually was like, I'm stopping the show, and everyone just rejoiced because no one likes Jim B. Kimball's in the first place.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the only thing that like
this is a win-win.
He has like he's had about 3 good segments that I've seen on YouTube, and they're like.
The Halloween candy thing is kind of gotten stale at this point.
Yeah, that was like, it was really funny for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And then after that, you're like, okay.
Oh, the kids know what it is now.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, you tell Jim B. Kimball's to stop it.
Oh, he's so cute. He got it. He's the next level
no,
kid.
I made my child cry for TV.
Oh, boy.
Jim B. Kimball's told me to torture my kid for television.
Jim B. Kimball's be like, hey, go give your kids some post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
And teach them that, you lie.
This is why I prefer Combin O'Brien.
Dude, Combin O'Brien is the best late night show host.
Yeah. I think
did you see
other
that?
than...
my favorite, though, with Combin O'Brien is when him and IQube and Kevin Jart.
Say the first one. Oh, Ibacube
and Jebin Cart.
And Kevin Barp.
When they drive around with the Bayan, that Bayan chick.
Ribelong.
Guyane chick, the one that drives.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways,
I don't think we have to do the silly thing for the regular celebrities.
The regular celebrities?
Yes. I think the late night hosts have the.
What are you talking?
I
said Kevin Jangles.
Like that's his name, of course. I don't know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said such a silly thing. That was a very good video, though.
That is an all-time great internet video, in my opinion.
Yeah. Craig Ferguson, I think, is really underrated. Him and Conan, I think, were the last good, because Craig Ferguson was trying to actually innovate that kind of platform.
We should do a podcast on the late night wars of Conan.
You should do that.
Yeah,
because you know all of that stuff. Have you read the book?
What?
There's a book
about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll read that book then.
No, you won't.
No, I won't. Okay. Anyways,
but that's our last piece of news, and that's what that is. It's pretty interesting. So goodbye, Doc, and goodbye, Jim B. Kimball's. and Jimba Marbles, and
oh yeah, Jenna Marbles got canceled.
Who was the other
she's
one?
Off the platform now.
Drake.
Drake. Well, that's old news.
Milby Bobby Bromp.
Oh, and don't forget Chris Belila.
Crispy blah blah blah.
Crispy Dyla.
Crispy Dyla. Crispy Delilah.
God, I hope he reacts to this someday.
Everybody's favorite comedian, Khabib. Wow.
Look at these dumbasses. They're trying to make fun of my voice, and
they're trying to make fun of me. I don't know what he sounds like. It's been a bit since I haven't watched enough Crispy Delilah to know what he sounds like.
I'm Charlie D'Amelio.
That's Charlie D'Amello. Hey, I'm Charlie D'Amello. I don't do say so.
Ratchet, savage.
Didn't even know. Let's do the show. So we just get regular news, and it's time for the next part of news, the most important part of news.
Apartment News, your number one source for news about Ben and Marshall's apartment. And now your host, live on Linux, Benjamin Earl Weber.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty neat.
And I'm your host, Benjamin Bengamin.
Benjamin Backgammon Weber.
That's me. And today we're going to talk about things that have happened in our living space.
Yes.
The first thing that has happened in our living space, what's happened? Has anything really happened?
I got a sword and we bought a TV.
That was last week's, dude.
Dang it.
That was literally last week's. Or whatever it was, 2 weeks ago. You're so Dumbo Brian, dude.
Dumbo Brian, dude.
You're such a Dumbo Brian.
I'm sorry. I try not to be Dumbo Brian. I don't want to be like Jimby Kimball's. Jimby Kimball's is
that
the
one's
biggest.
Still the best one.
Jimby Kimball's is the biggest Dumbo Brian of all, if you ask me.
Jimby Kimball's.
Oh, man. Do we have apartment news? We had one right before this, and I can't remember what it was. What the heck was it?
What? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't remember what it was.
We had something. I mean, we got the new retaining wall outside.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, yes. We
Looks
can take
a little
a picture
bit
of that
weird.
one, too. It's not completely finished yet because Menards is the worst. We did get a new retaining wall. I met the guy who made our retaining wall.
Jordan.
Is that his name?
Yeah, I think so.
I took him to get a caulking gun. So,
Did you?
Yeah. So we did that together. We had a good time.
That's great.
We talked about life and life decisions and, the right path to be on.
Nice.
He lived in Tallahassee in Texas.
Tallahassee, Texas.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite America.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Huh.
Anyways, I don't know. It wasn't that cool. Oh, this is kind of apartment news. I mean, I feel like if I own it, I parked this at my apartment.
Yeah.
For my car, if you follow my premium Snapchat, you
Do you
would have seen
actually?
this. No,
Okay.
I don't even have a private story on Snapchat.
Oh, man.
Add me if you can find me. Snapchat's like the last social media that I have that's like literally only people that I know.
Yeah.
And just like select others. So I keep it that way. Anyways, so
Big secret.
randomly downtown Lincoln, I found like the front, like what is it called? Like the thing that, in front of the radiator.
The wheels.
No, whatever the thing. Anyways, it was the front of the car. It was a piece of plastic, and in it was a Lexus logo.
Oh,
so
yes.
I zip tied this Lexus logo over top of my my Chevy logo on my Chevy Cobalt, my 2007 Chevy Cobalt luxury touring edition.
Or as I call it, that ugly orange car that sits outside my house.
Correct. And anyways, it did fool our boy, whatever his name was.
Dorton?
Dorton. Tyler Dorton.
Tyler Dorton, who fixed our retaining wall.
He was like, wait a minute, I thought that was, I thought that was a Cobalt, but I saw the Lexus logo on it.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've been getting compliments on it all week, so I'm pretty proud of it.
Hilarious.
Hey, hold on. This is something else we could put on apartment news.
Yeah.
In the neighborhood, there is a car that does take the cake for just the coolest car in the neighborhood.
Is it the one up the street with the traffic cone on it?
Yes. Usually it has a traffic cone on it, but today...
Are you serious, though? Are you actually serious?
I
or are
am
you
serious.
joking?
I'm completely serious. So you know what I'm talking about.
I know I was kind of joking because it's the weirdest, dumbest car I've ever seen.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's absolutely
so it's the best one.
car I've ever
so it's
seen.
the best car we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Jim B. Kimball would love that car.
No, Jim B. Kimball's would hate it because it's not even that. He wouldn't think it's cool because he's not cool.
His
He doesn't
Jim B.
know
Kimball
what's cool.
car has to be the
He's
right
a boomer, dude.
thing. Oh,
Jim B.
that's a
Kimball
good point.
boomer. Jim B. Kimball boomer confirmed.
2010.
Hey, you're here. If you're listening to this podcast,
Exclusive.
Just know that on this podcast we believe Jim B. Kimball boomer. Okay. Anyways, but back to the apartment news. What the? Holy guys! What you don't realize is that Marshall just about died.
I just pulled a splinter out of the bottom of my foot that I got off of my little table, our big studio table here.
Wow. Anyways, getting back to the apartment news.
Yes, the
coolest
car.
car in the neighborhood
Traffic
might
cone
have
car.
one-upped me. Okay?
Oh, man.
So I saw this morning, and I want to get your genuine reaction. If you want to react to this and see what we're talking about,
Yeah.
you can follow us on Instagram.
At Ben and Marshall do a podcast on
That
Instagram.
is where it is. Anyways, so let me get your reaction to this.
Oh, man.
I think it
Hold
adds
on.
at least another horsepower.
I think...
And
man.
I'll give you a description of what it is.
Just so you know, Captain Sparkles is live.
Thank you. God, I forgot I was subscribed to him.
That's
Speaking
hilarious.
Of Twitch, he's still. I can't believe he's still doing stuff. Okay, we can talk about old YouTubers some other time.
Yeah.
But
We'll do an episode on it,
anyways,
I guess.
what it looks like to those of you at home, the audio listeners, because you're all audio listeners.
It is a
and we don't have
unicorn skull.
It is a unicorn skull made out of balsa wood,
Yeah.
and it is the like the topper or like the hood. Rather, no, not the topper. The hood ornament of this car.
Wow.
And it's amazing, and it is duct taped on, and it is as glorious as it sounds. You don't and if you want to, you don't even have to trust me. You can just go to our Instagram and check it out.
Of course, you made that my profile picture.
Why are you texting me? What are you're doing
I'm
things on my
airdropping it.
phone?
I'm airdropping it to myself because I have the Instagram.
Oh. Wow, we're so cool.
That's beautiful. Wow, I love that.
Anyways,
That's street news.
street news.
Street news.
Dude, if someone makes a street
Honk,
meat, that's when I know I've made it.
Wow.
When somebody comes and makes me street meat.
That's what I'm waiting for. That's my whole life.
Someone
That's
come
what
make
it's
us
really
some
based
street
around.
meat, dude. And
Please
if you know
do
what
it.
we're referencing, then plus 10 points.
You're a real one. You know how it is. Put your
Add
tractor
10
in the
points.
pile.
Add 10 points to your scorecard.
Add 10 points and put your tractor in the pile. That's an old reference. Oh man, I really wish that I could get that T-shirt, but it doesn't exist anymore.
Dude, we should make an episode where we do all the games like that are the fictional games like Cones of Dunshire, like I don't know any other
Or we
ones.
play them, or like
Or like
because you can
review
play
them or
Cones of
something.
Dunshire.
Yeah, either play them or review them, or like go through and say if you can play them, and then give people like links and stuff to
Interesting.
like where they could like
'Cause
find.
I'm thinking
how to,
once we
like,
do the Lord of the
rules and
Rings
stuff.
episode, in between those, we'll do like just themed ones instead of movies.
Right. Okay, that'd be a cool themed one then.
Yeah.
I like that.
So Ben, let's talk about this movie that we watched. It is a movie that was made, and it has.
And you don't know the
actors.
title of it yet.
You don't know the title of
Or
it yet.
who's in it.
Because I
Andy
haven't told you about
Samberg.
it. Adam Brody. Just kidding. It is
Andy Samberg.
Andrew Levins.
You know, it was kind of embarrassing how long I got Andy Samberg and Adam, whatever his last name is, mixed up.
Really?
Yeah, it took me a while to make that separation in my head.
That is very, very sad.
Yeah.
But we did watch Uncut Gems. We watched
did.
Uncut Gems this week, and Ben had watched it. This was
I had.
Ben's movie.
I did choose to watch this movie for the podcast.
Yes.
Now, I will say this. I want to preface this with, I've been talking with some people about it, just getting some crowd feedback on the
Okay.
Instagram. I do post a lot of stuff on my Instagram, and if you ever have questions or want to talk about movies, DM me.
Yeah.
But
Ben
talking
Weber
with
Media.
people- yeah, whatever.
DM me, but I'm not going to tell you what I
you
am,
gotta
and
find
I
it.
don't care.
You got to find it, okay? Anyways, so I feel like I like this movie, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
And
It's
so I'm
interesting and
curious.
polarizing. I read a lot of reviews after the fact because I was like, I think I know how I feel about this, but I'm curious to see what other people
Yeah.
think.
And that's where I was too.
Yeah.
But I also think that like it depends on the type of person you are, whether or not you like the movie.
Yeah, if you're a cool person or a dumb person, it depends.
But yeah, like I think it really shows how risk averse you are, like how comfortable you feel in the movie.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Because think about it. Like for me, I feel like I'm not a very risk averse person. Like I
would
to,
agree
like,
with that for you.
Yeah, I like to, I mean,
that's not a bad thing.
I tend to like think I know what I'm doing, and then it actually sometimes works. Anyways, but I tend to take more risks and do crazy things, and I'm more spontaneous. So I feel like I maybe connected with this movie a bit more than somebody who wasn't as spontaneous or likes to be in their comfort zone or likes to kind of like play things safe or get a general feel of like the environment before they do something. Like everything in this movie is super reactionary and like go. So I'm curious to see what you think about that, because I know that like that's something that you kind of like about like the camp structure or like leadership positions and stuff like that.
I mean, I feel like I thrive in chaos really, really well. Like I mean,
if
especially with camp, like there is a schedule, but I always tell people like there's a schedule, but it doesn't mean anything.
Right. It's a starting point.
Like it's there, and then you figure out where you're at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I see things in general. It's nice when there's a routine, because you can just be like, well, this is what I'm doing, and if something happens, then cool.
Right.
But yeah, so here we go. Uncut Gems.
Loving it.
I'm gonna blow my nose real quick and then we'll do this.
Ah! He pulled the headphones out of my ears.
Sorry, Dad.
I'm dying. Okay, boys, let me keep you entertained while Marshall blows his nose.
I figured you just cut this part, but you can do that too.
Oh man, now I gotta remember to cut this part. Okay, at 30 minutes. 30 minutes, Ben. You can cut it right here, dude. Cut it right here, man. There you go. Now you know where it is, okay? There's a big.
Wait, let me make a good
spike.
sound so you can remember.
I mean, I feel like this mic would have done that better, but.
Oh yeah, here, let me try. There you go. Now it's a really cool sound instead of a just boring dumb one.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm yelling because you can't hear me.
Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't even remember what we were talking about, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Another thing happened. So we're and then I was saying that the Safdie brothers, we didn't cut or anything.
Yeah, just like
there's nothing that's
like
happened.
The movie.
We didn't even edit this part.
So Uncut Gems. Here we go. Here's the plot. I'm gonna try to make it brief. So, Happy Gilmore is a guy who wants to be a golfer.
Does he have the remote in this one?
Does he what?
Does he have the remote in this one?
Yeah, so he is a guy who wants to be a golfer, and he's got this remote control that controls time and space, and when he tells a bedtime story, it comes to life, and he has an identical twin sister that is really vulgar, and no one likes either of them.
He's also... he's going on 30 dates in this movie, or 40 dates in this movie.
I think it's 50 actually.
50? Oh my god!
And they're all the first one.
I forgot, because you like lose track after a while of how many dates there are in this movie.
So that was a funny joke, because none of those are this movie.
Oh, and they're all stereotypical Adam Sandler movies.
And by stereotypical, we mean they are movies that he stars in.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Waterboy.
Dirt Boy.
That's some high quality H2O.
Is that what that's from?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Waterboy.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't like Adam Sandler that much. So I never found the time or effort.
It's really stupid movie.
Yeah, Adam Sandler.
Yeah, just it's kind of good to watch. I don't
Interesting.
know.
I might check it out if it comes across my
I'd watch
eyes.
it if you watch it.
Okay.
you want to watch a movie later?
I think it makes
hang out.
Maybe, I don't know what time is it. We should probably play.
No, I'm gonna be playing Call of Duty later.
We should probably play Wheel of Fortune.
Oh my god.
We need to actually start using that scoreboard.
Yeah, right.
We need to get a second game in at least. So, okay, let's do the podcast real quick here.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Not that this isn't the podcast. This is why I was saying like I like to have extra time, because we can just like riff on things and keep going like this. I mean, remain focused.
Do the podcast.
Oh, okay, sorry. Wait, is this a podcast? So we open in 2010 at the Willow Mine in Ethiopia. Someone's been injured and all the workers are creating a big ruckus. 2 men to go in to investigate the mine and find a big old gem. Whoa, big gem, and it's probably uncut.
Oh.
The cutting and not cutting of gems doesn't really ever come in that I notice. I don't really know what that means, but we could talk about that later.
Well, like a cut gem is like something that looks all like beautiful.
Diamond, I guess. Yeah, I suppose that's obvious now. That's one of those things where like when you say it and you're like, oh wait, no. Now, okay.
Yeah, that was just you. I'm gonna be honest.
That was big Dumbo Brian.
Yeah, that was a big Dumbo Brian.
I don't want to be a Jimmy Kimball.
I love that this is catching on.
Yeah, only with us.
Right, but like people are gonna start doing it if we just keep saying it.
That's a good point. Caleb will. Hey, Caleb.
Yo, Caleb.
Love you, boy.
You freaking Dumbo Brian. That's what we're going to call our fans. Can we call our fans Dumbo Brians? Hey, what's up, Dumbo Brians?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Dumbo Brian Nation.
That's the one. So you go to this gem, and there's a cool shot where it like goes into it, and you see like the magical insides of it. And then we go from the insides of a gorgeous jewel, and then into the colonoscopy of our main character, Howard Ratner.
I felt duped. They made me look like an asshole. I kind
of felt it coming. I was like,
that's what she said.
Oh, is that what that? Yeah. Because it went less and less pretty and more fleshy. And I was like, what? Oh, yep. So I kind of saw that it was about to happen. I was like, all right, there it is. But we are now in New York City in 2012. Howard is being accosted. Well, first of all, he's getting colonoscopy. That's how it starts, whatever. He goes back to his shop. He's a jeweler, like a high-profile jeweler. And he's being accosted by debt collectors. He is in debt, from what I could tell, $100,000 is the number that I noticed. But he is just gambling 24 grand from pawning different things that he's got, and finds out that Kevin Garnett, basketball player, is in his showroom, and he rushes back. The debt collectors are scared off by KG's bodyguards, and they get real upset. They're like, we're going to come and mess you up again, man, because we don't like that these guys are bigger and stronger than us. So Howard gets a delivery in the midst of all this as he's showing Kevin Garnett all these different things. It's a big jewel from the mine at the beginning that has been smuggled in a big fish. I was really hoping that he actually just got a delivery of fish that he was just really freaking excited about, because he was like, oh, it's here. Oh my, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. And he opens it and it's a fish. And I was like, it's probably a thing smuggled in there, but what if it's actually the fish?
Holy crap, guys. I got this carp, and it's at least this big, dude.
Check out this halibut. 3,000 carats a pound. What? That's not how you measure that.
Look at these carrots. It's literally filled with carrots.
It's a crate full of carrots. 3,000 carats per dollar. That's what the movie's about.
Is a carrot actually one carrot?
I don't know. I don't think it's not spelled the same way.
I know, but like, what if a carrot was like one carrot?
Dude?
Oh, dude. Dude.
Joe Rogan experience. But he gets this thing, and it's the black opal. It's this thing from the beginning of the movie, this uncut gem.
The black green opal.
Yeah, well, at various colors, but...
Butthole.
Yeah. Kevin Garnett has a weird connection with it and convinces Howard to let him wear it to the game that night. Very cool. Howard doesn't really want to do it. What was that?
Montage mode. Yeah, he doesn't want to do it because he's juggling.
Because he's had it for like 5 seconds after working for 17 months or whatever. And he's like, I don't know about that. It's worth like $3 million, whatever. Like, okay, so, you can use it.
KG
Fine.
leaves. So a little bit of a,
collateral.
That's
yeah.
What we're
So
looking for.
they trade off his Celtics ring, his championship ring.
Celtics ring.
Yes, and Howard immediately goes to pawn it as his own collateral.
Yes,
for more gambling.
Amazing.
Yeah,
what the
and
hustle?
I was like, yep, that seems about right.
Gambling addiction, bad.
Yeah. I have an interesting thing about that later, actually. Yeah. I saw I don't remember if I wrote it down. Just keep going. We got this. Yeah, but he makes this bet with even more money from the ring, and the bet pays off big time. Like, he makes a huge bet, and it's perfect, and everything goes exactly right, and he's freaking out, and it's incredible, and he's telling everyone, it's like, I just hit the big time, it's amazing, oh my gosh, this is the greatest, oh my gosh. And where did I leave off?
I know what happens next. But then it turns out that the boys whose money he might have stolen to make the bet with, they pulled the bet.
They canceled the bet.
They would have had it.
Yeah.
They would have had it.
He was trying to do this to pay them off, and then they cancel it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you screwed both of us, he says.
We're back to square zero.
Yeah, so they take his clothes and lock him naked in his own trunk.
And they take his watch.
It's probably a fake Rolex anyway. The previous ones were.
Yep.
But all kinds of things happen. Kevin Garnett doesn't want to give the stone back. The stone. Excuse me.
It's a stone.
Yeah, they call it a stone every once in a while.
No, it's a stone.
He doesn't want to give the thing back because it like gives him his basketball power.
Basketball juice.
It gives him it's like the
best
magical
thing
Gatorade.
since Oh,
it's the sour red juice, the Gatorade.
Dude, what if they made Uncut Gems Gatorade flavor, dude?
Have I shown you the video? Inspirational people describe the first time they tasted Gatorade.
Yeah,
it's so good. And I started saying that I should fly a plane because I have the most energy, and it's like okay. All the different names they give it, the football milk.
Oh yeah, football milk.
I had a dream of the Gatorade laboratories, which are in hell, and they were doing experiments on the football players, and they were screaming. It's a great video. If you haven't seen it, look up "inspirational!" ! People describe the first time they tasted Gatorade. I think it got re-uploaded to YouTube, but it's on Vimeo if it's not. It's out there. You can find it.
Sorry for Mike Sounds boys.
I can't believe it. But there's all this back and forth of Howard trying to get the stone back from KG, and his partner Damani is like sort of helping, but also really not helping. It's not really like sure whose side he's on, other than maybe his own at this point.
Well, he's basically like a connection, I think, is what I got from it. So
yeah, he says at one point, like, I'm the guy bringing all these guys in here for you.
Yeah, so in reality, he's really just trying to get his bag and hang out with his friends.
Yeah.
But Adam Sandler is depending on him to, make a lot of things in his life work out. And so he doesn't have the same commitment level. And so he kind of like plays, he's a pain in the butt more than anything.
Exactly. So all this stuff happens. They lose the bet and everything. Damani calls and says, "Hey, I got the thing, and we're gonna be good." And they go to a like private party that The Weeknd is performing at, and
Blinding Lights Challenge. Let's go.
What?
Blinding Lights Challenge. The Weeknd.
Is that the song that was in it?
No. See, two notes.
Well, it's the
The
TikTok
Weeknd.
dance.
That's what I'm saying.
I did know that one, though. I did know that was The Weeknd. I remember that one.
Good job,
but they
buddy.
show up, and Damani's like, just kidding, I don't have it. KG has it. I said that to you for no reason, basically, and now you're here. Whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
The orange hoodie is really, really cool in that scene, and I'm kind of curious as to what the choice was there.
Yeah,
because
the neon.
He completely sticks out for that reason, and
that's a good point.
I don't know how. I don't know that
in my
fits
mind,
in.
it was supposed to be that he was like in his element,
Interesting,
because he was around his friends and around like he's trying to make a power play.
His best friend, The Weeknd.
Right. Well, that too, yeah. But like, yeah, he's trying. Well, I mean, everyone tries
working
to
for The
out.
Weeknd.
Yeah, The Weeknd secretly is just in this movie universe is God, and like he is pulling all the strings, and secretly The Weeknd is just is manipulating all. He's like above Adam Sandler and Kevin Garnett.
Yeah,
he gave Kevin. He's just playing with like he's having fun with it. He's like, all right, let's see how I can mess with these guys. Like I'll let Kevin do good this time.
Interesting,
but I'm still gonna get his girl.
Yeah.
So,
well,
anyways,
except not. That's a weird, unclear scene because you kind of don't know if anything actually happened there.
Yeah.
Because it like almost seems like it, but then there
is happened.
Yeah,
that's what it's implied. That's what's implied, or what I got.
That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, so the one lead right into that. Howard attacks The Weeknd for going after his girlfriend, and they get kicked out. They have a big fight. Howard and his girlfriend Julia.
And he's still married at this point.
Yeah, to his wife.
Yeah.
So he's unfaithful, and I think she knows that.
Yeah, she obviously knows that. It's. I think it's kind of the thing where it's like they're gonna get a divorce, but they just haven't yet, and so
yeah, and like there was a point in the beginning where they're talking about, well, we're gonna wait until after Passover, and then we'll do it.
So it's like they're only waiting for just life reasons.
Yeah,
it's it's basically over.
Howard and the girlfriend have a big fight, and they go their separate ways. KG and Damani show up at the shop. There's a big fiasco with the door, and they finally get everyone in. KG gives the opal back, but he wants his ring, which Howard has pawned. Oh, yeah. No. So he's like, I'll get it to you later. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And that kind of just is like satisfactory for some reason.
Well, yeah, I think to what that shows is how
badly he wants the opal.
And yeah, he's like, okay, whatever. Which is, I don't know. We can talk about that in a little bit.
Yep. It's Passover, and it turns out Arno is family. Arno being the guy that he is indebted $100,000 to. And we'll just skip ahead to a short bit of IMDb trivia here. But the character of Arno is an Armenian American who married into Howard's Jewish family. So that's an important thing.
That's your background on Call of Duty on your Xbox, isn't it?
Yeah, flag. It is. I'm not Armenian. I know an Armenian.
I do know. I know multiple Armenians.
I guess I also know multiple
Armenians.
Yeah, I suppose that the one guy that I'm the closest to in that family is probably not the only one in that family of Armenian descent.
Shout out Micah.
I was thinking of Gideon Badier, but I love Micah.
I love Micah a lot.
He's a good fellow.
Micah likes all my tweets. So that's why he got first.
That's great.
He's like the only one. But every single time, I'll tweet something and like 10 minutes later, Micah Vodolizinski liked your tweet.
That's great.
But
it's Passover, and it turns out Arno is family, so that brings a whole new level of like, whoa, okay, to this debt collecting thing. But then this other thing of he's not like blood, he's married in.
Right.
Adds another kind of level to that, which I always thought was weird that his goons kind of looked like Greek or something. I guess they're Armenian.
Armenian.
And then
that's pretty mean.
Howard makes his family stop back at his apartment on the way home because he told Julia to get out. So he's basically just going to check if she's still there.
Right.
But his son has to come in and take a dump. And very, very on the nose, Billy Joel's The Stranger plays as they're going there, which is, I mean, the meaning of the song is just like the movie, pretty much.
Right.
It's like, well, it's a little trite, but it's fine. But his son finds out about his girlfriend that he has or doesn't have at this point.
From the
neighbor, yeah. Howard goes to the auction house, and they've changed their appraisal of the opal to $200,000 from like the however many million that it was supposed to be. Howard convinces Gooey, someone who is related to him, of our uncle or father character of some sort, exactly, to up the bids. So the price gets higher and higher, but they go too high, and KG bows out. Howard goes to the office and has a breakdown. But then his girlfriend comes back and calms him down, and KG calls, and he's about to pay out $175K for the opal cash. So he makes the deal, and they get in this like philosophical business argument, which I thought was very interesting. This whole speech that he gives him against the like the odds of the game and everything like that. And
they fixed the betting.
Yeah,
purpose,
exactly.
Yeah.
Howard tries to bet all the money on the basketball game, but Arno catches him. Howard refuses to cancel the bet.
And he has his girlfriend go make it.
Yeah, so she's already gone. And
he hands the money out through the window at one point over New York City.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
The only way that I would ever hand over money is over through a window in New York City.
Yeah, hand cash to somebody unless you're in a window in New York City.
That's how I pay my rent.
That's true. Every time.
Once a month, I travel to New York City, and I hand the money to someone.
That's an apartment news. I mean, we could start paying our rent. What did we ever do with that letter?
Oh, I got it.
Okay, cool.
My scanner took a crap, and I'm buying an expensive printer scanner in this pay period.
Next week.
That's a good idea.
Or next time.
But Howard gets Arno and his goons stuck in the security door of the shop, and they watch the game together. They don't have a chance to
establish. Like KG got stuck in it for a little bit.
Yeah, so this is a janky door.
Yeah.
So they were going to go and try to stop the bet from happening because they don't trust this guy, as you know, no one probably should or has reason to at this point.
Yeah.
Or I mean, in general, from what I'm seeing.
Very good point.
But
unless you got that sloppy toppy 9000.
Yeah. But Howard gets Arno and his goons stuck in the security door, and they watch the game together. They win the basketball game. They got the huge payout. They got the bet. They win big, big, big. Julia collects the money.
Well, basically the bet that he was taking is like you have to get 3 things right, and the odds are so low on that like it's just ridiculous payouts.
But he knows the game so well.
Right, exactly. So they got like
the basketball game and the betting game.
Right. So he got the tip off and like a bunch of other shots, and
rebounds and free throws.
Yeah. So pretty crazy bet.
But it worked out because it's fictional. And
yes, it is fictional, which is sad.
Yeah. There's parts of like the movies like this that like set it in a specific time and place and everything.
Hey,
there was one of those fireworks.
That's what we were supposed to talk about.
That's what it was. We can come back to it. But like movies that are like, it's 2010 and we're in Ethiopia. It's like, is this a true story?
Right.
It's not. 100% not. It's completely fictional and written, which doesn't discount anything. It's just what it is.
Right.
But the debt...
still real.
Howard is like, heck yeah, we won. This is awesome. I can pay you guys. We're all happy. This is going to be great. Don't worry about it. Everyone's going to have a good time. Title of movie directed by Safdie brothers. Good time. And then
that's how it ends.
Opens.
That's it. Happy. Everyone's happy, and
everyone's happy, especially the goons, because
and they get their money.
Number one goon, as soon as the door is unlocked, takes out his snub-nosed revolver and shoots Howard through the cheek and kills him dead.
Proceeds to rob the store. His friend's like, "What the frick, Richard?"
Yeah, and Arno's like, "What are you doing?" And he says, "Stop asking me what I'm doing or I'll shoot you too." And Arno's like, "I'm just going to leave." And he says, "Well, you can't do that either because now I'm going to shoot you too."
And the door locks again. And then it's a scene.
And that's the end of the movie.
And that is it. Full stop.
I mean, yeah. Pretty much literally.
Yeah. So,
I have a lot of thoughts.
Okay. I want to hear your thoughts.
I think this is a thing that I've thought about every once in a while, because I don't know that I quote unquote liked it, but you don't have to I don't like Whiplash necessarily, but it's a really good movie and it's really intense and everything. I think there are things about it just as a movie that didn't work for me.
Right. Yeah, and I'm not trying to say this is any sort of like impeccable, you can't find a mistake in it, amazing movie. I just enjoyed watching it.
Sure. And I can get on board with that. Like, I wasn't like riveted, like, oh my gosh, where's it gonna go next? But I was like, I'm here for this.
But it was a good watch. You know what I mean? I felt like I was like, I enjoyed my time. I don't feel
like I've wasted my time.
Right.
Which makes it sound worse than it was.
Right.
Like,
it's if you watch it, you'll know what I mean. It's more one of those things.
Yeah, it was something where like, this is an experience that I've had that I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
Right.
I don't know that I'll watch go back to it.
Just if I'm bored or want to put something on, you know, like.
I don't know. This is a good put something on movie. This is a movie that like, this is one of my interest. I have a few notes here at the very end that I wrote down that I specifically wanted to bring up. So let me get through these.
Go for it.
And then we'll walk through it. Awful out of place score by Daniel Lopatin, who also did Good Time score.
You didn't like the score?
I don't think it fit the movie at all.
I get a little bit of what you're saying.
We'll get there. The talking over each other is something I've seen done well in different movies, but here it just feels over the top and ridiculous. The gold fever is an interesting thing that kind of ties back to the Lord of the Rings, which he weirdly mentions Middle Earth at one point.
Was Josh knocking?
I don't know. I don't care. And then with those two things, like with the score and the talking over each other, like a lot of the negative reviews are like, it's just a lot of yelling and loud noises. And and I get that. And I kind of agree with that to some degree.
I would say but that's like, an aspect of like the culture. You know what I mean?
See, this is one of the other critiques. The other side of this is people going, well, the chaos is the point. And I get that. And this is the thing that I want to bring up is that like it's a weird thing, and I can't think of a specific example, but I've thought about this for other movies. Like I think Joker would be a good example, where like the chaos is the point, where like the artist behind it says, well, that's the reason I did this, and that's the purpose of this. But at a certain point, the reason you did this doesn't make it not stupid and not bad.
Yeah.
Like I can, like Jackson Pollock can explain his splatter paintings as much as he wants, but to me, it's still a paint splatter.
Right.
So I don't know. It's an interesting thing where like the score for me felt weird and out of place, and I guess if they were trying to kind of create a weird tension,
diamond tension under, I liked the score personally. But also, I did feel like it was a little bit over dramatic. Like it was a little bit too much at some time. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like
there were times where it was weirdly reminiscent, and I don't know if you'll know what I'm talking about at all. But the song by Pink Floyd, "On the Run," which is I think the third track on Dark Side of the Moon.
I've definitely heard it at some point.
Yeah, and it's just like. It's the first time that album goes into like this theater of the mind kind of thing, and it's just like this fast-paced like synthesizer sound, and it reminded me of that. And it like when you're listening to it isolated, it's like anxiety-inducing.
Right.
And I feel like that's kind of what they were trying to do.
I think
it just felt weird.
Maybe the perspective of like the filmmakers are trying to, you know, the movie's shot really from whatever his name is, main character's perspective. So it's kind of like a glimpse into his mind, the whole thing. And so I think maybe the movie the songs. Why can't I think? The
music?
Score is trying to like do that. Maybe that was the thinking behind it, was like, this is supposed to be a look into his mind, how he's thinking, what his thoughts kind of feel like. So
where is his mind?
Where are my minds?
Where is my
Pixies.
mind? I keep drawing comparisons to Joker with this movie.
Yeah.
Like it kind of has the same,
It does
like
have a bit of
Joker's
the Joker style.
a lot slower paced.
Yeah.
But I feel like they have the same tone and the same
That's
kind
a
of
good
feel.
point. Yeah, I actually kind of agree with that.
With the music of Joker, I feel like it does the same kind of thing where it's trying to make you unnerved and anxious.
Is this a better Joker?
I don't know.
I would say it's better
almost
than
makes
Joker.
me like Joker more after the fact, but I
Right.
haven't watched it since I saw it in the theaters with you.
Right.
But like the music in Joker, I think is one of the best aspects of it. I have the same praises for this movie that I have for Joker.
Right.
Where like the performances are fantastic.
Yep.
The score is fantastic. I don't know that I thought the story was really that good.
Yeah, I think it was a good story, but it wasn't a great story.
It wasn't like amazing.
The story doesn't. It was entertaining,
And it
but
just felt
wasn't
unresolved.
Yeah, but I want to talk about the resolution a little bit. I don't know if you have more points to get through.
The cool intro sequence sounds like Pink Floyd on the Run.
Yeah.
The Stranger is really on the nose. That's what I have.
Okay, so the ending, I feel like it actually is the best ending for. Is Howard his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the best ending for Howard specifically.
As opposed to getting all the money and living happily with his wife and girlfriend together.
But do you think he would have done that?
Polygamous.
Do you really think he would have done that?
No, I think he would have kept betting on things and ruining his life
He's
further
addicted
and further.
to gambling. He's addicted to the hustle. Like, what he likes is what that movie is. He wants his life to be like that, but he can't admit that to himself.
Yeah.
A lot of people live like that. I mean, especially like, I was never super into like drama in high school, but there's people who they need to have, like, there's people who need to have something going on. They need to be in some sort of conflict,
whether
it be with their family, their, boyfriend, whatever it is, or their friends.
At a certain point, it's like, why are you doing, like, you're just sabotaging yourself. Like, there's no point to get upset about this. You're doing this to yourself. What's the point?
I think it was, again, like, it's a perspective that maybe not everyone can quite empathize with or like relate to, but I think it's something that is real and taps on kind of like a real nerve. And that's why you're kind of like, I feel like I understand this, but I don't in a way. But yeah, the ending is probably the best thing that could have happened to him because, again, you really think he would have taken the money, settled down, and lived a great life?
Weirdly, he died happy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He died in his happiest moment. That was probably the best ending that he could have gotten.
Yeah,
literally that was the best part of his entire life, and then that's when it ended. And it probably wasn't going to be better than that. It probably wasn't going to actually resolve. Like, he has all this crap he's built up in his life, and even if he had paid everyone off, he's made decisions that have altered the course of his entire life, and he has to live with those decisions now.
What I want to know is, I want a sequel with Kevin Garnett, where it's just him and the stone, and the Rock
like
plays the
superpowers?
stone.
The Rock. I like that.
Yeah,
let's do it.
It's a whole movie, because this is a thing that kept occurring to me, is that every once in a while, like when he looked into the Rock,
right,
and he sees like fame and acclaim and future and everything, those parts of it like weirdly dips into the supernatural in a way.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like a Twilight Zone episode where, like, if you put that Twilight Zone music over the top of it when he's watching the basketball game and all that, and he's winning when he has the stone and he's not when he doesn't have the stone.
Yeah.
If you put it in black and white, put the Twilight Zone music on top of it and take out most of the swearing.
Right.
This is like an episode of the Twilight Zone. You could re-edit this easily.
That'd be funny. That'd be good. Like, good little re-edit.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know. That's a thing that I thought about.
Yeah, no, that's cool. But overall, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't have too much more to say about it. But like, I think overall the kind of feeling it wasn't. Again, I'm not saying it's a great movie. I just enjoyed it. I kind of wanted to discuss it. Just see what we thought about it. Get somebody else's opinion on it more than anything. I
screenshotted a review. I forgot about that. I'm glad you said that. But I screenshotted a review that I thought was really funny on IMDb.
This is great.
But here's one. This is from the Roger Ebert review. Roger Ebert's dead, so somebody else who works at the website did this review.
Got it.
But this is one sentence that I thought was interesting. And tell me what you think of this.
Maybe I will.
Oh, actually, let me just read this whole...
let me read the entire script.
Let me read the whole
Uncut
review.
Gems.
F and this and that and the gem and give me that fish. That's the movie.
That's all. That's the whole script.
Yeah. And that's the thing about addiction. The thing that Uncut Gems really understands. On some level, the stress is the point. The nerve endings are so frayed they need the stress. Howard is useless without panic. So is his mistress, who also suffers from a form of gold sickness. It's their main bond. This is not a cautionary tale about the dangers of gambling. It's more like a virtual reality game where you step into Howard's experience.
Yeah.
The gold sickness thing is an interesting thing where when he's talking about the stone at first to Kevin Garnett, he says, like, this is some real Middle Earth stuff. And it's a weird thing that he brings that up because, like, in The Hobbit, their whole thing is they're going after the gold. They're our long forgotten gold, that whole thing.
Right.
And they get there and they're like, heck yeah, we got it. And it's protected by a dragon. And it's, the classic, the dragon is hungry for the gold and all that. But then as soon as they get in there and Thorin, whatever his surname is, gets it, now he's like, oh, dude, well, now this is all mine and I'm the guy.
Right.
And like, that's the mythological version of that. But this movie has that. Oh yeah, the ring. It's even the same thing with the ring. Interesting. Yeah.
I mean, I thought you were going to that example. I was like,
no, not specifically. Well, that's just a specific thing from The Hobbit.
Right.
Exactly. But the ring.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. How many times can I bring up Lord of the Rings in the podcast?
At least 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, that's a good point. I like that. I like that point. Well, I mean, it really just shows it could have been a relationship. I mean, where the only reason that they are together is because because of their flaws. And so if they were to fix their flaws, they wouldn't have a relationship. So I've seen the results of that in my own personal life.
Sure.
Not with my relationships, just with people I know.
No, yeah, I get you. They're not a funny movie, but there was one funny Adam Sandler line that I distinctly remember in this. And I
can't make the joke I want to.
Oh, really? Is it too much?
Holy shit, I'm gonna... Anyways.
Oh, yeah. That's not the one, unfortunately. But the one that I'm thinking of is when, like, the girlfriend shows back up at the end and she's like, don't worry, everything's fine, it's cool. It's like, I got a tattoo, let me show it to you. And, like, she got a tattoo of his name on her ass.
Nice.
And what he responds with is like, why'd you do that? Now we can't even be buried together. Because it's a Jewish thing. She's like tainted the temple of her body.
Oh my God.
So I thought that was really funny.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that would be my reaction if any girl got a tattoo of my name or anything on their body.
I refuse to be buried with you.
Yeah. I would probably break up with him. That would.
It's a little much.
That's weird.
I'm afraid now.
I heard this relationship advice story where this chick, like, they were kind of talking and like they'd hung out a few times. There's really nothing more than like a FWB type situation.
Sure.
And this chick like comes to him and is like, "Yo, I got a tattoo," and he was just like,
It's like, cool.
No. And he's like, can I just ghost this chick? Or like,
yes.
Can I not now because she has a tattoo of my face? And
oh, it was of the face?
Yeah. But not only that. Okay, I think there's more context to this. I think they've been dating for a while, like a little bit on and off, and like it was like a 6-month relationship, where it's like a little bit more serious, but not completely serious.
I feel like you can't do a tattoo until you're on your deathbed.
And then on his birthday, around his friends, without telling him, she like, I think it was a full back tattoo.
Oh!
And I think she shows it to him, and he's like, "What the F?" And then all of his friends are like, "Geez," and he's like, what do I say? Like, because maybe it was more like a what do I say type thing where he didn't quite know how to like, or maybe it was an Am I the A-hole subreddit. I don't know.
Might be.
Anyways, great story, Ben. Thank you for that.
Huh. Well, there's only one thing left to do.
There is?
Uncut Gems.
Oh, yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah. And I mean it by yeah.
Yeah. Immediately upon finishing, I was definitely leaning more towards no. But having taken a bit of time to decompress and drink an Arnold Palmer and like have a snack and like talking through it.
Yeah.
I'm a yes. I'm a soft yes, but I'm a yes.
It's a yeah. It's like
I don't know that I'm gonna go tell people you have to go watch Uncut Gems.
No,
or even
not.
if people are like, should I watch this movie? I'm like, if you want to, it's probably gonna be.
Yeah, if you like the trailer, then go watch it.
Yeah.
But
I didn't like the trailer.
Really? I like that. That's what made me want to watch it.
The trailer made it look really, really dumb to me.
I feel like the trailer was pretty misleading because I had a whole different concept of what the movie was going to be. I thought it was going to be like this dude hits everything and somehow he just keeps winning and then something happened. You know what I mean? Like
I didn't get that
like
at all.
What I thought what it was going to be was like he was talking to like the refs and like rigging games like that and like just this whole like interconnected web of like how he can break the rules and like it was a real story. Of,
and
like,
in the end, the uncut
happened.
gem was the friends that he made along the way.
Just like this podcast.
So it's time for IMDb trivia.
Oh boy. That's the one thing we have left.
Well, not the one thing.
You just said there was one thing we had left.
Well, it was yes or no, and we both said yes. I feel like I have to burp. I just did it. I put IMDb trivia under our socials in the wrong place. Oh, oops, I put it in the wrong place. Whatever. Fun fact, Tilda Swinton makes a cameo in this film as the voice of the auction manager on the phone. Anna.
Very cool.
You know who Tilda Swinton is?
Yeah.
Adam Sandler wore false teeth and a fake dark mole on his right cheek for the role.
Is that a trivia?
Yes. The mole, I definitely could have pointed out, like, well, yeah, Adam Sandler doesn't have a big, gross mole on his face. The teeth, I remember explicitly thinking at one point, are those Adam Sandler's teeth? Are those Adam Sandler's teeth? I think it was when he was, like, crying, and he's like, I keep
you
doing
really can't
everything
see this face,
bad.
But it's amazing.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I was like, those Adam Sandler's teeth?
Nice.
Those,
Next trivia.
Okay. Howard tells his son that his neighbor acted in Good Times and Coming to America. When they knock on the door of the neighbor, it is answered by John Amos, who was indeed the father on Good Times and the father of Eddie Murphy's love interest in Coming to America.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I like Coming to America.
Well, he was in Good Times.
Speaking of movies,
I haven't seen
that would
Coming
be
to America, but I have
nowadays,
seen Good Times.
Coming to America would be so canceled.
Well, that's interesting because they are making a sequel.
Really?
Yep. People love Eddie Murphy.
Do you know the beginning scene of that of that movie?
No.
He's in a hot tub with a bunch of females who clean off his royal penis, and that is what it says.
You know, I feel like because it's Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, true.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I don't know.
Different movie, different podcast. We don't even talk about movies on here.
Oh, and then the other thing I just watched Die Hard 3 recently. Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Die Harder.
No, it's Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Harder, and Die Hard 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Die Hardest.
And that's the one that was originally written as a Lethal Weapon movie, which is why Sam Jackson is in it, because he was originally going to be the Murtaugh character.
Right.
You haven't seen Lethal Weapon, it's fine.
There's too many snakes on this plane.
That is not Lethal Weapon. That is Snakes on a Plane.
So next trivia.
But the opening scene of that movie, John McClane is forced to go and John McClane, played by Bruce Willis, is forced to go into the middle of Harlem and strip down wearing just a wooden sign that says "I hate the N-word." And pretty much just to get him murdered. But within the context of the scene, it makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Actually pretty hilarious because Sam Jackson's character runs a pawn shop and sees it from his shop, and he's like, what is that mother effer doing? He's going to get himself killed. And he goes out there because there's all these gang members who haven't seen John McClane yet.
Right.
He's like, we're going to get you out of here, you idiot.
Right.
It's very funny. You would like that movie. I think it's easily the second best Die Hard movie. The first one being the first one.
Cool.
Yes, that's what that one. This is an interesting fact. Are you ready for this one?
Maybe.
Leonardo DiCaprio was considered to play Howard Ratner, but had schedule conflicts in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Weird. I mean, I thought they wrote the movie for Adam Sandler 10 years before they shot it, and there was this whole big deal.
Interesting.
That Adam Sandler waited to do. I don't know. That's what I heard. I also heard
that
they had to rewrite the movie about 25 times because they couldn't get an NBA player that they liked.
Really? Well, because the Safdies are huge Knicks fans, apparently.
Yeah, so they couldn't
get their guy.
Yeah, and they really wanted their guy to the point where they kind of ignored KG a little bit, even though they knew that he was a better actor, if that makes any sense.
Aren't we all?
You don't really do sports, but
the Knicks are terrible actors.
But it was a complete sports thing where it's like I like legitimately they don't like the Knicks or whatever, or they don't like the Celtics, so they're not gonna do this. Like, you know, it doesn't make any sense to anybody except if you just you got a sports team and you know what that feels like.
I think if Leo DiCaprio had played this character, he would have come off as a lot more sympathetic.
Yeah,
like you would have felt for Howard a lot more.
In this movie, you're not supposed to like him. I don't think.
Well, I think they definitely at times lean towards narrator. Like. I mean, he's not like a narrator, though. It's not like Joker, where it's like he has a mental illness and you are like wondering, is this really happening? Or like American Psycho. Mitty. I guess kind of that sort of with Walter Mitty to some degree. But like in Walter Mitty, it's pretty clear. I don't know. But basically, like he's supposed to sort of have a little bit of like, you kind of feel sorry for him at times. I never really did. I was just like, this guy's an idiot.
You're kind of a dick, my guy.
I don't care about you. Like he got shot and I was like, oh, that happened.
Yeah, you're like, oh, well.
Yeah.
All right.
Which, you know, I mean, Adam Sandler did that better than DiCaprio probably could have in that specific way.
Definitely.
Probably not a better actor, but in this role, better choice. Cinematographer Darius Khondji shot this film on 35 millimeter film.
I knew, dude.
Which,
there's something
I kind of figured it was a film. It looked like it was on film.
It looked excellent. Film legitimately has a different look. I've been noticing.
That's true. That's because it looks different.
Okay, well, hear me out here. I mean, okay. I'm not trying to say stupid obvious things. But
do laundromats make money? Dumbo Brian,
laundromat. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's who works at the laundromat.
Dumbo Brian.
We should call our Patreon the laundromat. Anyways, because does it make any money?
Our Discord.
Who knows?
Mine does.
A little bit. The laundromat would be good for the Discord. I like that because it doesn't make any money. Where is it going with this? I was saying something.
Film looks different because it is.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been working with some film cameras recently. I've been shooting some of my own 35 millimeter film.
Shooting the film with a gun.
Yeah, just
get that film out of here.
Exactly.
Shoot it with a gun.
Anyways, it looks different. There's actually a bunch of cool stuff. Like I got this lens that has this radioactive coating on it that over the time has turned a bit more brown. Oh. So it gives the photos a bit more of a warm look combined with whatever film stock you're using. Oh. So there's a lot of different decisions you can make when you're shooting film. And film is pretty cool, and it's very high definition, and it's very high definition. Oh. So there's a lot of different things you can do.
4K.
More than 4K.
$8.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know specifically what the resolution is.
Red rum.
But if you have a big boy negative, you can blow that boy up a lot.
I love blowing things up. With a big boom.
Enhance.
And I thought that we had one more piece of news, not news, but IMDb trivia, but I already said that one. It's that Arno was the Armenian-American who married into the family.
What a Dumbo, Brian.
So that's what that is. That's the show. No, it's not. We still have to talk about, hey, Ben, what you looking at, what you listening to, what you watching on the TV?
I've been playing a lot of Search on Destroy on Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare with... Well, now Raven. I've also changed my name to Flamingo.
Yes, and I am Albatross. I changed my call sign to Bird.
Mine's Bujo, which is owl in Spanish. Spanish.
It is also Bujo in English.
That is true. Bujo Parati.
Bujo
Shout out,
Parati.
Whatever her name was.
Oh, man. Why can't I remember?
Oh, no.
Oh, geez.
She's a good teacher, and I feel really bad that I forgot her name.
Yeah.
Because she would be really sad.
Oh man, I said it the other day when we were in the game.
Bujo Parati. Anyways, we'll shout her out in the next episode.
That's gonna bother me.
That is
Senor Hill is number one all time.
Right.
This lady was a cool lady. Man.
Jacobson.
Senor Jacobson.
That's what it was.
And Bujo. And when me and Jeffrey went on the Mexico trip, we were at the Mexico trip with camp, not with school.
Right.
We got at a local market this like owl. It was kind of like a small Maltese falcon, actually. It was a little black owl like sculpted statue out of wood. And we gave it to her, and she cried. Like, she loved it so much.
That's why I feel bad about forgetting your name.
Yeah. She was like, I'm not supposed to hug you guys, but come here. I was like, okay.
That was before social
This is nice and kind of weird. Several years ago. But yeah, that's what you're doing. You're just playing some Search Destroys?
I've been playing some Search and Destroy, and doing work the rest of the time.
Wow. Tate Anderson is now playing Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
Classic Tate Anderson. Speaking of Search and Destroy.
What a boy. I finished Avatar, the TV series, and it is, I don't know if I told you this, legit the greatest finale to a TV show I have ever seen.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that, yeah.
I was consistently impressed with the show all the way through.
Right.
But I am amazed at how well it stuck the landing. And there's comics that follow up like immediately afterwards, and apparently they're all pretty good too.
That's very cool.
So makes me really excited for the live action Netflix series that's happening with the actual creators on board.
Hopefully they don't mess it up this time.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen the movie, but I watched some like trailers and I looked at the actors who played the characters, and it's quite a disaster.
Oof.
Dev Patel plays Zuko, and I know that means nothing to you, but it's really funny because Dev Patel is actually a popular actor now, and it's weird seeing little Dev Patel play the angry Fire Nation prince.
Yeah. I did not understand a single word of that sentence.
That's why I said that it didn't mean anything to you.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah. So there's that, and I've been playing The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, yeah, you have.
And I am thinking it's really great so far. And even the guys that in the group chat that I was in that were like, I'm hearing bad things, they're like, the people that I talked to are actually now saying that it's actually pretty good.
That's so, the same thing that's happened to me.
It's a weird kind of turnaround when, people have actually played the game, it seems.
That would make sense. Yeah. Instead of split judgment reactions and whatnot.
Based on spoilers that came out before it even... I don't know. It's interesting.
Right.
I'm not all the way through it, so who knows? There's time to hate it. I kind of doubt that at this point. I don't know how far into it I am, because I've seen different... it takes anywhere from like 23 to 40 hours. And I don't know how long I'm in, but I feel like I'm not even halfway.
Oof.
Like maybe a little more than a quarter way. So I don't know. I really enjoy it. I think it's really good. I think that the choices they've made so far make sense, especially the one big thing that happened, the kind of inciting incident of the story. I mean, we all knew that was going to happen in some way. It was just very brutal and very fast.
Right.
Not for that character, it wasn't very fast, but for us as people, it was very quick. But it's really good so far, and it's been an interesting experience talking to my friend Tim, who runs the comic book store, Rainbow Comics, and us trying to say in code where we're at in the game so we don't give spoilers. Hilarious. It's like, I just left the theater for the third time. Like, it is Seattle day 3. Day 3. I just got through the gate. It's like, what does that mean? So that's what we're doing lately. But that's what I'm doing. It's great. I started reading the book that's over at Sticky Church. Book over there. We're all reading that at work. And
Sticky Church.
You can see a place where I have... that's kind of what it's about. Like how to have people like keep coming back and everything like
give
that.
Every single kid candy, specifically suckers.
Specifically cannot do that right now.
I thought I'm talking about the book.
Oh,
step 2.
I have
sloppy toppy.
I haven't gotten to that part yet. Ooh, definitely not. But you might see that there are big black spots on the cover, and that is because there are large bees on it, and it would sit on my images of large bees, like bumblebees, and it would sit on my end table here, and I would look at it in my sleepy stupor and think that there were massive bumblebees on my desk.
Marshall's really afraid of bugs.
If there was a massive bumblebee in front of your face this close, you would not just be like, oh, look, that's there. Whatever.
Dude, I grew up around bumblebees. I've never been stung.
I've seen the movie Bumblebee. I wouldn't even be scared.
I literally watched the Bee movie.
I watched the... You like jazz? I've seen every episode of Seinfeld. I've seen the Bee movie.
You know what happens in the Bee movie?
I do.
They don't say anyone, that's for sure.
This has been Ben and Marshall Do It Podcast.
This has been
Ben and Marshall Do It Podcast. We talked about Uncut Gems, and you can talk about it too. Tell us what you thought in all of these various ways. You can contact us. My Instagram is mparish_art. On Instagram, Ben is Ben Weber Media on Instagram.
Maybe I am.
We don't know yet. We're the Great Scub Do, SCUBDU on Twitch and YouTube, and Ben and Marshall Do a Podcast on Instagram. You can also email us at benandmarshallpod@gmail.com. Those are all the important things. Ben is Ben with the lens
loser.
on TikTok, and you can see all his. Oh, you changed it?
I'm Ben Earl Weber on TikTok.
Oh yeah, you changed it. It's Ben Earl Weber. So if you want to play TikTok with Ben, you can friend him on TikTok and play TikTok together.
Yeah. Also, we have free Tic Tacs.
Free Tic Tacs on TikTok.
Playing TikTok. Okay. Anyways,
so that's been the show. I've been Marshall.
I've been.
The show is over. It is done. I have had a little bit of fun.
Yeah. My name is.
No, it's over.
Okay.